so a comment TV na sabre when you go so awuhwe sans na monso amu KH radio and all the affiliated channels ni na yada mu nyina se manya emre and then you na mo ba behwe and then you be enkomo, and all I'm saying is that you can be my guest and let us discuss this topic, and I say let us discuss this issue. And then the topic for discussion, like your intimacy in marriage and why we have less sex. Intimacy in marriage and why we have less sex. Now, ansana ye di jumadi no ebebre mo no na ye kyerɛ mo sɛ ɛsɛ yɛtumi kɔda ɛyɛ yɛaboafo ase ɔmadaroma nti na abere biara nnwummerɛ biara yɛtumi adi dwumadie yi ɛbrɛ mo na saa abere yi mohwɛ me bota models designs with me I contacted bow ties no ebo no eda form yi ebo no eda form yi saa nso na obetimi I contacted models design for our Instagram almost the models_designs yada must be brain saa brain so some motion me nsa benkum anasa me left hand side ha who say KTA mobile phones no and isisi on blue saa no KTA mobile amadaro manti and a jumadie yetimi edebremo a brainy and brain nyina omonso omaso ya sne anache se ese de aseda kese ede emomo omo mobile phones no betimi use no wo baabia e wo wiase mu ha afanan baabia anti sabre de na chese ye de aseda kese nso be momo nti sabre mo yenkofa eye omo commercial na ye ba na ya toa so na ansa na makakofa commercial no ye de jumadie fufuro ba ye said 10 minutes chat with you. 10 minutes chat with you, Jumadi Sronkwa, Yadeba, Kwame TV. So we'll be mixing it up with Jumedia Yedi. And sometimes, and so some of the topics, you better say you bit meaning Crawford, I have a chat. And sana yadi abram sounds na won so obetimi recommend obi a wofo se oye bibi in your community, obi a wofo se oye bibi a esese amanfo etimi hu. It can be a business, it can be anything. Ye hian crofo betimi ne the youth no bekasa, ye hian crofo betimi ne crofo be din komo said ye be motivate you omo be ma omo betimi be ne nti the 10 minutes chat jumadie no ene ye de be saade no nti sabre de na chese ye de asada kase ema obi biara moment kofa your sponsors commercial na ya ba na ya to adwumadie ni so. I wanna share with you and you can share with me. Come let's share together. Oh, KTA mobile, KTA mobile, technology worth sharing.
It's the future.
Yo, sabre na chese ya de asada kese be ma obade ye se aye ne pe na ye nyina yetimi assign ehye mu biom ene ye bedi inkomo kakra ene ye topic for discussions mu nyina munim. The topic for discussion is the intimacy in marriage and why we have sex. Less sex and why we have less sex, intimacy in marriage and why we have less sex. Inti mesrese sabre when yamre no ba be kan ho abo modern answer oba share video yi ebe man share video yi said the wonu bi said ya wadamfo bi enso ensa ebe kan video yi ebi yada mo nyina asese abre nyina monya emre edman sabre yede ncha kase ma almighty sam dan estalamte ene abusuafo nyina monya emre na mo ba be kan ye ho sanso yede ncha kase emane baby biara wo hwe free baby biara wo tie di free yede asana kase ema obi biara. And you say your topic for discussion intimacy in marriage and why we have less sex. Measures here with intimacy in marriage. Intimacy in marriage. A baby, I think, say, as I say, your ma, your ni, echo, na say, your ma, your ni, echo, and also betimi aboa bebre. When we talk of intimacy, I know what comes on people's mind immediately. Ubeti intimacy, not just wadring ayo bibi sonko and as wadring ayo bibi fufro. It is any money and then no yebedi hu enkomo. Most people, when we talk of intimacy, all that comes on their mind, ASS sex, AS sex. But and your section, so what you say, intimacy. I think so. With the definition of intimacy, so that intimacy is close familiarity, friendship, and closeness. Into intimacy, you having an intimate relationship with someone purposely doesn't have to be say just your spouse and I say boyfriend or girlfriend. So you can have an intimate relationship with even a friend. You can have an intimate relationship with a friend. You can have an intimate relationship with your daughter, with your son. Well, inti yenyi sex we having an intimate relationship also sometimes, and it's not only about the romantic relationship that we have in and also that physical contact we having with our partners and also our fellow people. No intimacy. I would say, sir, people might have different definitions, and as people might categorize intimacy into different groupings. Maybe say emotional intimacy, and intellectual intimacy, physical intimacy, and spiritual intimacy. That is maybe a kakrana mekasa befahu mekasa kakra befahu. Most of the time, yang nipa immediately we hear of intimacy, all that comes on our mind, just the physical intimacy. Then sex follows. So what you say, you force but and yet for you to have a perfect intimacy in marriage, there have to be emotional intimacy. So there has to be, if there is intellectual intimacy and also intimacy, then the physical intimacy comes in. Then we have the spiritual intimacy. Enti and enumerate. So when you're married, what be kind of one metro say, but more than answer over free be over free down for be. Now you be the over be kind of now you know you bet me be in commoi and now see you know you bet me be free and then enumerate discussion. Ɛyɛ biribi a sɛ yɛtumi yɛ a yɛn ankasa ɛna ɛbɛboa yɛn sɛ yɛsɛ yɛpɛ sɛ yɛma yɛ relationships anaasɛ yɛ marriages ɛtumi gyina ne nan so a na ɛsɛ sɛ yɛtumi build our intimacy no yie, our intimacy relationship no yie. Nti ɛkwan a yɛfa so de yɛ biribiara no ɛsɛ yɛtumi ɛyɛ ne yie. Na the more I hear ye no not just say and no and a boy inti I will wish sir and then I'll go around Sanya money na talk a little bit about emotional intimacy, talk a little bit about maybe intellectual intimacy, a little bit about physical intimacy. Physical intimacy now I know say most people are more stress or more way say and a spiritual intimacy. But I think sir this four near my year and then me person can and go forward other near my other intimacy categories but I think sir near ways it me a concentrate I was near this type of intimacy so now yeah, the boy a bra, a boy bebre. When we talk of say emotional, being emotional, intimate, with a partner means that you can talk to them about your inner thoughts. When you are able to discuss with your partner how you feel, what is going on with you. Sometimes say be a bibi kra how only your partner with me but discuss with your partner no so important. And if you are able to be doing those things now, and as having those discussions with your partner, ɛboa mo bebree ɛma wo partner nso ɛtumi te waseɛ yie wahu how a ɔno nso respond sometimes very well to you. Nti understanding the emotional intimacy of a partner no ɛyɛ very 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 important. It's not about just the physical but how your partner can talk to you, how your partner can tell you, say BB hana obetimi no be communicate, said the man also be who how are the situation here, ebia dia wokom. What is going on with your partner? No? That intimacy, if it's present in your relationship and also in your marriage, it helps you. But most of the time, your concentration, the physical intimacy. But if that partner now, when emotional intimacy now, if emotional intimacy, a relationship more. A poama understanding is so good. Nipa need me to us here. Otimi hu say emotional there's something bothering you. Inti basa ono so betimi hu akwan obefa so a obetimi no be relate. But there are some people and I say your relationship be one because them they thinking of the physical intimacy, Send a partner cry because physical goes mostly with sex. Send a partner no cry yari and I say bibia. Ontimi ntene partner na ase. Ehwanu na ebitimi interpreting wrongly. Enam soma ebedu baabi no na bon se affect baako. Na ama ebi a obehwe no they having less sex. In some of the nearman so ebema mo be having less sex no ebi yes when emotional intimacies are not being met na and also betimi affect him. Emotional, you being emotional, your partner knowing how emotional you are, is so important. So I just say because it helps your partner to understand you and know how best to be related with you. It is so important and I necessary say emotionally, that emotional intimacy will be developed in every relationship and also in every marriage. It is so important. But all I'm asking is that when you are on there watching now, please share this video. You mo pi wo honoma ebi honoma na yenim na your relationship mu na enamo na my partner baako efili say oh ye bu ne kwase anasa ye fa ne say wajimi. It's all because we are not meeting maybe that partner's emotional intimacy. It is so important in a relationship. It's better you know your partner very well. Because when we talk of intimacy, it's all about the closeness, familiarity, friendship. That relationship now winning the partner. How familiar are you with your partner? How will you know, say, hey, be our partner and be hano? That familiarity you need to know. And so what me who am not me related to it very well. Your partner will always appreciate you. And sometimes, you must be those mistakes, All we know is intimacy is about sex, it's about sex, it's about sex. No, it's not about sex. Sometimes you need to talk to your partner. It's your partner the type I will feel free, so obet me no be have a discussion. Say bibi ehana, obet me no waka. Oka ekwan a won so be fa so a e bi a won so be chichi ne ra na say wo that coordination no e wo honom. It is so important. It is so important. Most of us emotional intimacy is lacking in our marriages, it's lacking in our relationships, and that is worsening things. And no crack emotional intimacy, if it's not being met, it can lead to divorce. It can lead to divorce. That is why sometimes I say, a bit one more. The problem by the fight by at the end of the day, you realize that and you're so important. And you be oh, you be to be. If you want that particular time, your partner needed you to console him or her. So bet me beka a rechichi sembi and the veteran because of ebia the situation be a wom problem be a woman be a yare ebia obahwe juma asai odwene wa wofo se wiase no abawie de amano. But how intimate are one it and emotionally bet me ne bekasa ubeka asem de bi beto na sumo na so beka bibi papa bi beto na sumo ebeboa no is so important over there. Enti bibia esesa yema yani ekoho na yetimi ehwe ne yie samene wo mienu betimi aye saa ne yema na ebeboa bebre. Enti emotional intimacy bibia and sasa ye fano ehuna keke. So offer emotional intimacy ehuna keka relationship betimi agu without you knowing, or you sense oh sex our permit manu. That is an aspect of intimacy I will satisfy thinking say oh sex our permit manu. And yes, some people are cheating, even cheating because of some of this intimacy. It's not being met. So what you say? Obi on my wo cheating, and yes, sex ninety na man cheating oh. That emotional intimacy na ono ne partner ne fa man no. Oko baby a onya that emotional intimacy ni free ho. Obi show that concern no. Obi just say our pain more obi try say obe pick that pain no be man obe console no, but you move on my and you share him so once I give him good sex and no, all these areas need to be satisfied. And you more sometimes no BBN say a year before cran woman a year before. As what just said, the more now money my year before P will fear into and year jumano. Emotional intimacy anka esasa eye adwuma no who created that big gap no enti the more na who create gap no na nipa no lose interest, so nipa no lose interest emotionally no onye satisfied at the san kakran afi na affect physical intimacy no so enti ya de esese ehwe ne ye. I don't think I am a boo one ma. I had no mindset. I can. As ye jam mindset be at watch. Obedi a sheni trimu say, or crocro ne gre and also crocro ni kunua. A baby a honum. Sadrin ne dani trimuntino. Whenever there is a problem, the partner, if they see issues be emotionally, on to me and get it close to the partner, on to me getting attached to the partner. Because a mindset be a build on the mind. They say, oh, nipa de yen crocron, that's all bad yen crocron. Son will be one more the action gym, Bema de yen crocron. I do because a Bema yes, many the theater so. And psychologically, no, on yet emotional, just on receive that emotional intimacy from the other partner very well. Obi on more crap because. And yet, when you went to feel say, oh, me partner grass as a break no, yawo yenina ayaza. Sometimes, me and fa adwene boneno and shasie. Nian try see about getting closer to our partner no. Obi ohonuma wo hia hug. So okwa adwuma niema ankoso yi. Nanka wo ba fie na wo ka situation na kire wo no. Enya bufuo ne yedi hia no. Ebasa ehonum na eso ye romantic kakra. Oh, maybe I say so hug na oh it once a day na and just forget about whatever happened. Nima can you answer same be chere can same be chere can same de be chere no. Nam building no. Na man ntia say oh me kunu anasa me yiri me boyfriend anasa me girlfriend. Ade a ekoso no. Say ono so like ebia affecting and answer or no grandma me who say here. Mama men dwene de akoso no so at yase. Obi wo ho no mo a ebia behwes there's something going on. Our one man your friend say oh ebia ne bibi ewu. That person is so dear to the heart. That is the time as someone emotional support. But you want crofobia or one man, all man a partner no emotional, that emotional support no. In some way be a free and no crab bano, and once I catch a no and yashi within your butre now ebi awakaya no what chasso. But the boy man, that is the time I saw getting closer to partner no more. Utmininya in kita be utmininya and discussion be because those discussions now in the benyano abobamana filisa oh so oh bear or no any problems ni be ediamano. Obon man the mere fact is say oh filisa oh the situation I'm woman question so the ho ahyemu bi kwa asa kwasi kra na ono so asem we ato no. And no, it's me building more relationship ni ye. Because a man partner if you listen when you're a selfish person. And with emotional intimacy, the attitude of me is so important. And important. The attitude of we and important. Oh, no, when you're not some, and you're on funny problem. Me na menya masem, miss me family problem. It doesn't help. And when we talk of emotional intimacy, the we come in there. You making the other partner feel sad. When you are sad, I'm also sad. When you are happy, I'm also happy. That makes the person happy around you. And the emotional intimacy is so important. And so you buy a so. Most of us, you buy a nigu sani so because of your feeling say be a ego be so at your say. Tisani man na affect yen. And I me a bema. Sometimes and found some way a bema crane there's something going on at ABA emotionally. There's nothing wrong so about voicing it out. When you voice it out to your partner, that doesn't make you a weaker person. That is one thing I think and also affecting him. Most of the time, the addition of 2 minutes says, so we are if BB about out. Now we catch our partner, we will our fan say a weakness. The partner be feel say or you weak. Enti adia hana na ehye no ho. Adia hana na ehye no ho. Sa niema no eye niema emoyen. So adia hawa get closer to your partner. Discuss it with your partner. The more you discuss things with your partner, you will be a even whenever he voices out and as she voices out something, no. A buano man feel comfortable. But so one can say a shenimua, the more na building emotionally na affecting. That is why we have to be there for each other. And sometimes, if you say, oh, there's something going on with your partner, ask your partner, oh, you're okay. Those things are so important. Obi on ma will be son will feel oh, you trying to be caring. Anyone Crawford wants will be son non momubuafu. Who tries to be the nicest person to or no, will be son on the buafu. Please, so you will be in so will credit that attitude now. And say no so no uchu a different. Oh, I have a good mood and a bad mood. Please, once you know, sir, you are in a bad mood, you can turn it around. And most of the time, the interest of when we are in a bad mood, we turn the bad mood to be a good mood. I'm in a bad mood, then it means I see I extended that mood to another person. When you do that, emotionally, you are affecting someone. Oh, a bad mood, and that doesn't mean that your husband should be in a bad mood too. Whatever is causing the bad mood, and that is what you have to discuss with your partner, so that your partner, so also you're so wiser, and also will find a way and talk to you and let you feel comfortable, let you be yourself, and let you know, say, even if some people are talking about it with your husband, also with your wife, or you're cool with it, or appreciate whatever that is going on. These are the kind of communications that SCNA partners in. And when we talk of intimacy, my mama may find sex, the sex aspect. Emotional intimacy is so important too. Among forward egu. Obi one ma wo jaina ni kunu anasa ne yiri because of emotionally, he or she wasn't satisfied. And that is a big problem. But then beyond, whenever we hear of intimacy, all that comes on our mind, cases, sex. That is the physical, emotional aspect of it. But emotionally, how are you satisfying your partner? It's so important. It's so important. As I said, you share sani money na. See it me handle sani money na. Our rejaya fumbi no mono NC. So obi bejina enchine bi so keke no di beja na ire. Just sometimes tie dia obi jina so di jai na ire ana so di jai ni kunu a. Sabio. Ayana ayensamfo. But ankomo mienu no, almost satisfy omo emotionally anka ebeboa omo bebre. Ama niema bi etimi akosadia esese eko. Until that is an area, I think say may move on. May move on to intellectual intimacy. Your intellectual intimacy, and that includes exchanging ideas and thoughts about things you think and care about. Sometimes you move your honor, the partner ekofa samuba. Now we feel say any area. And your area cry sometimes moral support our man ebuano. I had to say who could answer we a business. Ebia our knowledge about something and all ye. So who need knowledge no cry. What do you do? There will be an aspect of whatever he or she is doing who bet me be input to something. At least you can share an idea, baby. Baby, you can use common sense because when you're operation here, say your operation and because already means me for common sense and come. But you will never be one more. You being with your partner. You have to let intellectual intimacy work there. Advice be a wubet me the ma partner no, farmer will partner no in the area and I say be or person oye. Sani money a building intimacy. They we have a crown with sex. Emma will partner feel say, oh, a dear all year no, oh, appreciate it. That is why you're trying to have an input be a woman. Ebi a wo advice it. A dear way any see a before sebe any see a be a any. All those inputs no, are very important. It is a relationship with honum. That's those intimacy, no, any honum, this intellectual intimacy, no, you don't have to be on the same level with that person. And you can't tell me, say we a doctor. Now we worry even Obia won't go school there. Now person say just a woody who when yan sam and say bibia over can be an air finer. Where's I'm scroll try and you will be on my fail you. But it's not so pass it do no child do anything. That is why ya doctor no. Mark business is when you sana why a doctor no. And it wasn't 100% and sana would me attend that position. And sometimes you move in more time be a try to look down upon your partners because you feel say to me attaining some level being to your partner no dear or any power on your way saying that type of way saying wrong. Because sometimes that little impact, that little idea, that lesser person, or the background, how I will be receiving, Emma, that person feels to say or a part of it. But a bit more on my own moon is a and ye bibia, as I say, your shiny ye, say a best shiny year, a babuabi. I didn't know no more every successful way be and every successful man be there will be a woman and answer we say. Relationship omutimi kanisa no na che say e bia be ma ni tie oba no. Edu ba bia BB project bi na wo ye oba no so timi de ne idea ba e ma be ma no etie. Because you say the nyansa wo we eni ba akufo trim. That is why our discussions are so important in every relationship. Intellectual intimacy is so important. Sharing thoughts, sharing ideas. And so we are so high about our partner, please. Nipebia, once you are in a relationship, one of the basics is how we say you have to be a good listener. Just listen. At least, there might be one point be so important to bet me be helpful, but more bet me be move on with whatever you are doing. And the more now oh yes ade no and as our partner it can be betrayal even though e bia of force and level ndu onum but what me advice wo kwan bi so now our partner let me say oh asema me catch akwasi na kwasi ayo asema me catch akwadwo no kwadwo ayo o man feel proud to say honestly a part of that decision making in adekono it is so important. It's so important say you be ma sa ne mani nyina bedadi. Sometimes it can also be so okay we nyina we intellectuals fine. Way away. But as I mo try some be share those ideas and then niema be together. Ebeboa mu nyina. Sometimes your contribution and yes I wanna wo ye adwuma na na wanna wo ye ade but your contribution ebia obehwe wo free adwuma mu ba ya oh akwasi oh adwoa ena adwuma me koye pa sa asem we na si ho no na me ko meeting say ne si ye ye debate ho a ebia wo partner no et betima ka oh me fo say ebia nka mu ye nse ya ebia nka betimi aboa o ka kire wo a on say hwe sometimes the more na we share one will share be a walker or timini woodin come on diving opens up a conversation and as a communication at the mamu it makes your partner feels comfortable. That intimacy is there. That makes your partner feel so oh, you don't look down upon him or her. And intellectual intimacy so important. Sometimes your favorite stuff, your favorite just or specialized area and as a niema when ekuno. So we partner so I appreciate now also yes or also play part in that area. It's me boa relationship Sana say obi a software. That's an yiri soft mame no and support you are. Enti me muama was software no enti me nya na adwuma said yes say that is why I say software wo honom na say soft mame no ye obi a wo ha adwene because or the confusion eba no na e affect software no sanso na say kokoyo bi fufron me fa say soft mame na ne kunu enso me fa say sabio ono so e bia ma e wa asori ni mu ono so e yo mo ho adwuma a emfa din papa emma enti mo say be affect omomienu nyina. But say bibi biara akọ said yes say kwa ebeboa. Enti intellectual intimacy is so important. You sharing ideas like books, my favorite stuff, songs, movies, niema managing the type of niema managing sa niema ni nyina etimi eboa. Etimi boa e build a relationship no e ma relationship no etimi ekonanim etimi ma relationship no very successful. Enti bibia esese ye hwe ne yie. Makasa afa emotional intimacy and makasa about intellectual intimacy. Right now, let us go to I think say Mayor physical no the last one. Yeah, called spiritual intimacy. Spiritual intimacy is sharing our inspiring moments together. This might mean worshiping as a couple or walking hand in hand in nature. It can be religiously, or it can be anything. Moya and your yoga na moye and a ebeboa moa. Like anything, baby, I'm more interest. Any way say one. That is what as I said, making sure some mobile building a year. That spiritual intimacy is so important. But for say, unya say, as couples, maybe a munyina Christians. Bia munyina Muslims. Munyina Muslims and you do so many things together. As a mu interest no nyina one place. But that doesn't mean say bia who different spiritual background now the other one is different spiritual background one. You guys can be couples. You guys can be couples. You guys can be couples when you understand each other. What did your way say? Or no, so did your way and say. Enti yanko ba say Oh, ya would dear, we will catch us, dear Ben Fina, oh, yen, oh, ye did it, tia will be a so. So, when that understanding over there no is working very well, that is where I have to give you your space, then you also give me my space when it comes to spirituality. Fine. When you get it, say, spiritual, we say, beliefs, are the same. That is also fine. But this is the situation that sometimes you find people that claim that they are Christians, but they don't even pray together. That spiritual intimacy, a question mark over there. Enti yabasana, obia wawari obia, on one year Christian, one and the difference be any. You claim some way married couples, but you can't do religiously, you can't do things together. When you need your father, when you need your father, and when you guys are able to build that bond around the we say spiritual intimacy now, I know that buamu spiritually, if you have that good bond now, a buamu bebre, relationship it me a successful. And some areas when you are so important. Because sometimes no nyama be a lucky or hontino and the mayanya problems no and the sometimes nyama and kosa the SSA. Spiritually, we have to build each other, support each other. How do you support each other? Okay, unimsa see a Christian Sunday or sorry. And yes, Sunday na baka and say and ne media banquine. Anopana was sorry so kwasor no subedia benquine. Na the bufo, na the confusion, na the problems be back. You want pennyfo bi ho no asano motie. The partner kwasor it's a problem. And on the reverence so kind no. And yes, sir. Ube you swa sorry so. Now what ya be the tia wo partner. And ya fa ya wo partner be fie no. Sometime na akwa prayer line so. So on one kasampani bibindi. Because a pasa akrana no yama o religion no o partner no fa wo buo ema o religion no. Enti dia sesa wo ye bia ebeboa mo mienu bia esa wo ye. Nyama bi wo hon ma yankasa twemu firi ho but o ye anasa bia wo de wadwene ato ho kakra. Said yankonko tia wo bia ni jeso. People, when it comes to spiritual intimacy, people are using spirituality and a religion. Wow. And it's yet binumanim. I didn't want to share your partner can say because on class or into we are brunsam, which is wrong. Obia wari egu because the partner ain't respecting because I see one class sorry. One said yeah no ya sorry corner and near man I say in shadow. O partner no wanyini enye first na wo ko school na ma me be ka kire so o one ma sorry nti me ma we o me ma wadidi sika wanyini enti se wotimi fa ekwan bi sumom na wo mom watwe no e de aba so opasa wotwe ne ba wo sum no watwe ne de aba wo sum enye hey ene ye de twe obi ba asumo because one hwe ya wo ne ye bi ne niam bi abayi na dinti ebe ma wo bi ote a kire ne be kan samfu ade afa wo religion ho. Spiritual intimacy is so important. As you're making sure say you better build your spiritual intimacy ni ye. As you butre when you your partners ain't the same beliefs now. As you butre as who treat your partner ni ye. Don't use your religion against who partner no. Don't feel say your religion is so important than who partner ni de. I believe no also believe near the atianisa will be ending the lamb by making sure say me lamb na me dino me konko twa enkonko si ono ne diem ye mu bi wo hon ma ye diem ani ye twasi obi diem. That is why we Christians most of the time ye judgmental time bi ani ye judging crofo, which is wrong. How can you judge someone and feel that that person will get closer to you? You want the person to come follow you to you, maybe a war religion. But oh sorry, I will accuse you nipano. who accuse you obi e be den de ba de na wo ye attractive e be ma nipa no be feel say o me join wo de no. That is why that intimacy, spiritual intimacy comes in. And so what me display some good qualities be. Be man be feel say oh me yiri chance say wo call ma ko yi de. Say suban no asasa. Eno na bia be man no spet man ka say hey eni asori ya wo ko means me nko bi. Na me nso me mfa me ho nko join ni bia men's fellowship. Bia ye kire biribi. That is the difference. And so what you will partner identify and so identifier where jinaso edi wachi. That is when as soon will be a spiritual belief and also will be a quite different level. Into you guys building the spiritual intimacy is so important. So what me building with spiritual intimacy very well. You will have the best relationship. It is so important. Say you timi hu how spiritually you be handle your partners. Mama me and you see your religion against our partners. Because before we go worry assume no unim say asori no wonko. But you decided say you want to marry that person. And it's a peer pressure na go worry. And as pressure, parental pressure na go worry assume sia. Emra wo hia no nko na sori da. Internasa wo worry no afa na wo de pressure bi ba beto no so. Wo yasa worry no ebegu. So we be adi. Be adi na dia wo be yi na di no eno na be boa wo eno na be hold wo relationship no. And ye mu bia ye feel say because we go to church and ye holy no please. Ye enjoy being judgmental. We always judge people by the physical stuff na ye hu no. We judge people with our eyes, but sometimes erade anim na nya sa na tie. Ye nipa ye ntimi judge obi biara. Erade na be judge. Enti enya wo na abekasa asomasi dia wo ye ne nya wo bekọ brunsam gem emfa wo ho. At the end of the day a individual journey a individual journey. When you are a Christian a individual journey. Enti yen jaisa suban si jaisa suban na ebeboan ama yen ma ye se ye Christopher no ye betimi winning souls e de aboa. So otimi winning wo husband, otimi winning wo wife e de ne kwa sorry a wa na ebeboa. So ye Muslim and someone so to me, you near maybe a suban be a di. And the travel partner, no, now partner will say, oh, or somewhere dear. My pastor made him who that is it. And spiritual intimacy is so important. Is so important. See about building a spiritual intimacy here. Obi or one more, or no to make us a me. Men kwa sorry biom. Adentia suban bia ni kunu yi na di suban bia na yiri bia di yi na di enti se hono wantimi am build ya hono nso yi a wo problem enti problem no and then ipa baako fo so e so make sure so spiritual intimacy no yeah adwuma we say intellectual intimacy yi ni ho adi emotional intimacy and also course said yes circle. So Sanyama when you shall say a course then Gianyati intimacy a day adwene tosono yes sex no not just and also I shall see a yin wadi. And it is so important. It is so important. It is so important say you better sa near mano. Near baye. Na siet me now all these areas of intimacy, yes, satisfy your partners, and all these areas are. We will have the best relationship. We will have the best marriages. Intimacy, sabre biana wosha sabre biana wutie. As our warrior, as our relationship, no niema bi enko yi. Niema ya mabubosu ya wa obetimi atena se no asese wo ho. What me say I think that this is what is lacking in our relationship. I think that this is what is happening in our relationship. Then you make a move. saa nneɛma yɛ akeka nyinaa to make a move ebi wɔ hɔnom a wɔn obi wɔ hɔnom a the damage na wakɔ so with saa nneɛma yɛ a mabobɔ so no ɛyɛ so great, but once you are in a marriage, you have to find ways and means to solve that problem. For you to solve this problem, no, enya opinion baba betinam na be solve wo, ba wo ankasa esa wo hyaase eyi niema bi adi, e de kire wo partner na ma wo partner timu se wanya adwen sakra bi. Wasesa afri niema bi hu. Na afei, wama communication aye adwuma. Woni wo kunu no, woni wo yire no, wa hyaase se mo bedi nkomo. Mo bedi mo ho nkomo. Hey, aya baby a waye mistake wo. Wa kan sanfun bi pen a. Wo hye wo fie e na wo ne wo yire na edi nkomo. Mo ngina son dem, mo ngina park so a obi biara e hwe mo. Minia se wo pacho a, na wa pacho. No ma wo partner na hu se, "Oh, na me nimu niema bi. Ba se dia me hu niema bi." Na wate wo ho afiri saa niema no ho. Obi wo hono a emotionally untimi satisfy the partner, it is bringing a problem. And right now what say emotionally as I would to satisfy our partner, say they better be save marriage. What do? You change. You change. Spiritually, when we say spiritually, how an our handle our partner is wrong. Let your partner know say you are a different person now. And your approach to things, in terms of religion, so where to apply brakes, where to accelerate, then you move on. Now we're doing the sang, kakran. Now, oh, yeah, niema ebebuamu. Intellectual intimacy. Sadanka first. Me yere ka sama me disrespecting no eya me say woni nyansa no say no battery break wo so me say ade no won fa kra wo oh sir oh okay na wo tie enti for that to work you have to make sure say that attitude of being a good listener who develop that attitude, because most of us that type your partner kasa your money wie or shall say so kasa na ya conclude ya decide baby e bekwa kosi na ya shall say ya fire back ya shall say ya respond. These are some of the things MY na ya affect ye bebre ti Jamaica nyina say me ne wo mienu e se atimi hu how I be handle your niema bi na se atimi handle your niema ni yi a eno na de asomdwe ebebre yen eno de be yi be free o how ne amane mu. Enti eye bibia esesa ye hwe ne yie. Yo what ye for sabre sa afen wanyamre no ba kan ye ho ana chese mere yasada kase be ma mu nyina se ene anwumrai munya amre na mo beka mo ankasa mu nia be ma eye imposona na amia aka Niclote aka St John aka Kwamet be da mase bebre. Where die ye di bia ani because na topic no mo hwa ya pa mu mienu. Yesada intimacy in marriage. Intimacy in marriage ena yaka ho asem a na mesra say meko commercial break me ba near the last one on intimacy in marriage me dia betudwa ne akasa afa ho because e hono na obia interest ehye because when you see intimacy in a relationship then onim say sum sanwam ebam aha kokrom ebam enwa ne yadwene ho and most of us the problems be aba wo de me pese me chance me se dan yakofa ye commercial break aba ena mo hwe me komu a na mo hwe me square hwe me bottom a na tese mo nyina mo nim eye Madus Design omo logo na da so no omada romanti na ne mo nua be mama ya brantie a me gina me na so no so mate ase Tiari asada kase be mo Madus Designs o sabeka mo Instagram Madus_designs with me no mo atwetwe nkomo bia sabre mo me nkofa KTA mobile so commercial na yasanya another sponsor ababeka aye yejumedie hu aye Sitosh Fabrics and ya na omu bie aye omu store na no ewo Patterson downtown. I think say I will have a time with them and ye bedi nkomo kakra na ye behwe niema omu wo na ye de ababa tudwa ama aye yahwefo ne yetiefo se de a omu nso ebia na wo pe bibia watimi ehu ba bia esese okọ enti Sitosh Sabre yada munyana say Mababa Kayan home, get him some more Patterson. I'm not sure with the address. I think say 71 Washington Avenue and as a street. But I just want to be sure. I know, say hopefully no Ochna you be share. Not just say my besha horn said the whole city. Now may come once someone met me a can years what you say. And it's already there's like I say my Sitosh that must be real. Me and Kofa KT mobile commercial sombra.
I wanna share with you, and you can share with me. Come, let's share together. Oh, 88.
It's the future.
Yo, what you for Sabre? Ya da munyina say monya emre na mababa kan ye ho. Munyina munim yabobo aye type of some of the type of intimacies are relevant in our relationships. And when this is permeating through our relationship, and as when this is being identified in our relationship, it's really going to help us have one of the best relationships. Those problems are yenyano, some problems nina so ebete enti bibia mesrese moma yenhweni. Sabrins mesrese when you're rain waba beka ye ho abomodi ase ube share video no ede ebemai because it is so important. Say unu ye bi wadamfo bi and so bet me be benefited from this program because said amidi kan niema bebre na ACC wa relationships more yenimo yenim because yenya obi ene yanka yenya obi ankyerɛkyerɛ yemu yenya obi entimi ambie niema bi so ankyerɛ yen anase yentimi andi yɛho nkomo enti ama say niema bi aka akyire a yeye ne hwe a enye yi but enka akyi sɛ me ne wo mienu besua niema bi na yɛbɛhwɛ niema bi na se yɛbɛyɛ niema bi sɛde yɛsɛse yɛyɛ a ɛbɛboa yɛn ama yɛ relationships at me I am very 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 successful ɛbɛboa yɛn ama yɛn ankasa no will be surprised how are your partners be reacted to yɛn when we are home, how are your partners any bed daily, how are your partners be handle yɛn say ya warrior be successful ɛno na ehia yɛn say ya warrior betumi betu mpɔn ɛno na ehia saa ntɔkwa bebree no emfa asomdwe emma. The last segment of intimacy was so a physical intimacy. And when we talk of physical intimacy, it's not only about the sexual intimacy. Sometimes how you hug, how you hold hands, kissing and cuddling in the couch. Obi on mokra wontimi ne yire anase ne kunu entena akunya ba akumuda say be a Friday and you say na oba na pon wadwuma aba be ma na pon wadwuma aba anka bia se news anase movie bi o manije hu bi o manije hu no omu nyina share interest say bi omu mienu betimi betena ase o mbehwe no obi wo hono ebi nsi wo ne relationship mu which is a problem. Enti even with the physical intimacy, and yet the sex aspect, kissing, holding hands, touching, cuddling, and it's is so important. And when it comes to the physical intimacy, as so was a niama bebre and a kika home, and it me be a quine namasun sawam, namako crob no so at me akoso at me akoso ye. It is so important. Sasanya money nyina yɛbɛhwɛ saa nneɛma no nyinaa yɛbɛtry sɛ yɛbɛbuild on that. Intimacy ɛnyɛ sunsawa mu nko a o. Intimacy ɛnyɛ kokro mu nko a sɛ wokɔ okro mu no nko a daabi. Yɛwɔ attachments bi, yɛwɔ elements bi as elements no nso ɛyɛ adwuma, elements no ɛbɛbobɔ mu yie a ɛma kokro mu no nso tumi yɛ very successful. That is why I'll be one man and answer you will hear say, oh, foreplay is important. Sanya money is so important. Because the Sanya money and Koswa, and sometimes the partner feels disconnected. And then the man will be to make us that you're winning one no. Or can't you win man because emotionally, you weren't able to satisfy? No. And would that your winning man is physically. And one is how they work with Yatina Motonus na wokwa. So, wo for say, we are okay. Into another friendly relationship, into another friendly way of, hey, who a problem? Some people are not enjoying their physical intimacy with their partners because of omano. It's emotionally not in another can't send me a man affecting the partner. No, it's in the partner no cry any yes of about that honor none any better. So what you say? It's physical intimacy, no. I near maybe and a boama physical intimacy, and until I'm here in the last, no. Because for the physical intimacy, to exist, not just I want satisfy all those areas, so to me satisfy all those areas, and then the physical aspect of it, excitement, acclimate, CBBR. But yeah, satisfy the other areas. Yeah, satisfy the other areas, But when it comes to sex, you feel it, say you're getting satisfied, a problem. And I think some most men are like that. Or no train or no be satisfied, and no one important man. Esa we a bema, what yes, esa woman or yerin so and answer partner no so. What me satisfied? Because what to be satisfied or no so. A boy and my relationship no credit to me as successful. A boy my marriage need to me as successful. A pastor young can't show said you're winning money. It's this selfish attitude, as see a job to baby. See a better that selfish attitude, at your two baby, a baboy. Near picking the we attitude. And to general satisfaction, I want to say, how can we satisfy ourselves? And yet, how can I satisfy myself? So interested in our petty and I will tell you, say, as I compare a shower line be now cocofa. Oko 10 wings be. So I say. As I say, satisfaction will be biara satisfied. When it comes to physical intimacy now, as so be biara satisfied. And yet back for pet and as I say satisfied. As mammy can ya man and quam, your money being so honma, 10 bia or non quan or ordinary or no interest on. Or non quan as I see a crock rodo, or non quan as you can nice things at the channel. Bearman also wants to bet me a nice things at your channel. Bearman also bet me, I appreciate it. This is why sometimes you see, sir, some people sometimes argue, say, Ophelia said, after sex, and so our banner catcher, Bearman said, Abia, thank you. Mumma answer that there be a more complaining, say, you don't get satisfied. And the other thing I do want to say thank you, you are expecting a Bearman and then can thank you, Fanchero. No. At the end of the day, and yes, I thank you. No, so be try quiet to us. Be a try. I love you. Quiet to one or can't love you now. Not value when the actually no. Da obey idea man who so why idea da one idea no so fine. Now we call him. And it's all my thank you yes, Debia thank you. Oh who do your idea and dia one idea. And da one gasa nim so asmasi or born home den esa woman who say asmasi why idea. There's nothing wrong. Somebody discusses our name. Only the selfish people no kwan or mudrene temp your more satisfaction. See a worry, not see a baby any pabaqua. See a bob wire. Say in yasatanano. And ni jenny yemi and nuna benya ni jenny bokako do baby as I said. And so say a drink young kwaya ni jehun. And no one in yama affected relationships baby. Inti as I say a shiny ye. Physical intimacy is so important. But before you enjoy that physical intimacy, no emotional intimacy. What may satisfy emotional intimacy? What may satisfy intellectual intimacy? What may satisfy spiritual intimacy? A honor and more physical intimacy area and another aspect, no, more enjoy the year. Mo kese ne mo niema nyina hwana mo be enjoy ne ye ye mo binum aya na ye hwehwe TV no mo ne niema ne ye hu no na ye expect say your partners no will satisfy us that way no so wo penisa na pese eye te say dia wo hwe na make sure say all the areas of intimacy na mabobo so no all satisfy with partner no you satisfy each other over there. And I'm telling you, said you will show with TV sooner you will also see that in your relationship. Some crofway should show me they be about your boy whatever 5 times, 10 times. I can say almost realize near money be. Realize the other areas of intimacy, Emma in their relationship. That is why those separations no air coso. Then no crash out here say, yeah, at it. And this who could did ya will share chia. What the problems be brave fee. Jamaica, yes, so. If any of these areas, Yamabu bosses, a wall like BB or Honma, Messer say. Bon modern say Oba corrected all those mistakes, no. Oba sua bibi from now be corrected sanya money na because what me correct here problems na and no and na ebeboa. But when me an correct it no ama all these areas emotional intimacy, satisfaction and my spiritual intimacy, satisfaction, and my intellectual intimacy, satisfaction, and my home. I'm telling you, sir, my relationship will end successful. And then talk about beba. One casano won't tear see the entire Eddie or how near Maniasa bro. But so over tears now, maybe you will realize to say, Sanya mano ebe boa bebre. Ebe what me do baby as will do in a relationship, and I say, ya share in a relationship. That is one I will say, sir, as obi biara and answer SSA. See it me, yes, I dear na ebe boa bebre. Ebe boa bebre. Ebe ma de bian so at me akona nim. Ebe boa ama ye bibia at me aye. I think say any animal baby it mean ya mere eba share a Kevin Asamoah Ba or say boss. What's up? Much respect. Thank you so much. I Almighty Sam Dan on also say the partners want to sleep. Oh, I know the partners want to sleep. But for you to have a fruitful sleep, an enjoyable sleep, then I'm telling you, sir, my emotional intimacy. Enyejma, my intellectual intimacy, enyejma, my spiritual intimacy, enyejma, and the sleeping I will open, you will have it. You will have it. You will have it. Yena munya sisa sabre munya emre ebeka ye ho. Now, and then your topic in yesterday, intimacy in marriage and why we have less sex. I think that's the intimacy na kwa kogu because I'm kind my friend say a 2 days program na me mess ye no eno na sabre mi di ewura mi di ni mi enu nyina ewuram nti sabre ye ba be kasa so and I say ye ba be have a discussion why we have less sex. I think sir I will end this program. Mr. Mamu no more me an advice on this. Should I end this and start a new one that will handle the other aspect? Why we have less sex? Niema and namsuma and unti you have less sex no. Upa say end na me shansi anasa menfa entwaso. Mibisa obibiara. Me endi anasa menfa entwaso. Sir, opesa me endi amami hu so opesa me twaso so amami hu. I think say sabre die na che say yeda ye tiefo nyina se modaro mantina sabre abribia yenya emre enmu ebe di inkomo. Na I know sir enadwumadie yesua bibi nso edi afim anase yesua niema bebre edi afim. Na see ye the bo ye way say no ebeboa I will assume say because my who say thumbs up so no but thumbs up so no ba enti mama ya fan to aso anya den yan kasa ye betimi achichem enti sabre baby a ye do why we having less sex niema bebre ekoso anasa ekoso in our relationship and as a marriages and might have it less sex and I say your sex life no it me a change as I say your ma ye ni e kon ho and I say yetimi ehu sa man because sometimes sa man no set in a relationship edu ba bia nyo obi na sese oka kireo esa wankasa wutimi ready na wutimi hu say oh bia sa de we a esi yenti ena ama say your sex life no asesano so many things goes on it may affect your sex life. I think say me chance ye die di kan ebia enkola moya warefo na say enkola ba mu a it may affect my sex life adentia first no enkola nim entitam bia wo be piefie bia no soon someone to me you be call chroma out to me corner baby ubetimi akon living room kitchen baby biara person kon bia because adan inkola enim but san kola nya sha ase be mu a ko krom no na method na sesa approach no asesa because e bia wo be free adwum kra be ba no na nkola no gufie esesa woni omoye homework ene niema enti abasa na mumienu no bibi biara asesa de amamu enti abasa mon so ene esesa mutimi hu ekwan a mo befa so a mo de besakra wiem mo de besakra niema mu enti senkola ba aware mu a eno so etimi affect sex life bebre enti eno so ye bibi a esesa nkrofo ani kon ebu on mu kra obehwe wo bucket one order we say mu order crib mu nanso onya hu se ukuna beda wo nchen pe no atie musu ana wo de ono ankra timi ye ne bibi se wo kunu hye dem na wo so akwa ne ho wo dem ho no ma ani abebom oh mommy I need this daddy I need this ni nyina ye interruption ni bia so ate ase enti ni nyina ye de ma etimi twe sa ne ma no ekwachi enti e basa ansana bibi betimi akoso na de saje semkola ada eno no nesesa ye hu enti sensakra ye bi bemu a ye nti ase se enkola na abamu ni nti ena ebi amane ma akosa enti e basa na mumienu mutena se na ma ekwan fufura na so madwene ekwan fufura ubetimi be fa so be improve mo sex life anya se nkola yi na memenda bia ye fo se ye wo fiase ye de yom koma ye omo nananom a na mo akwakoja omo ama na chese mo nso matimi have time for each other obi wo hon ma intimacy, different areas of intimacy that is needed in the relationship. Anya adwuma. And I will use sex now as a weapon against the partner. And to say, "Nkola be munu kra de na kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ ne de and de bi oba make sure sɛ nkola no wɔ ne nkyɛn na e bia or de ha be mana na sɛ or de ha baako." And some mutimi make it time for mo amo. Some mutimi make it time for mo amo na kyerɛ sɛ matena sɛ mo for plan. Oh, okay. And then me were off the about nkola no me inform nkoma we say babysitter. Nias yenya time e ma ye ho. Enti niama amubaye a ebeboa mo no eno na esesa mo ye. Niama amubaye a ema nkola no ema me problem ema mo no eno na esesa mo ye. The next one eye adwuma. In juma ye bi wo hon ma no see obstacles pa and also sitting in the way of we having sex. Situation in saying ebi wo hon mo a obo double because of the double our bonti no edu ba bia na a problem obeba no wa bre ana esasa wo san sorry ahmache no san ko enti ono ankasa no sex life no how ankasa so mo enjoy sex life no enti mi nsi asa me de kan ho na me na no kira me kwa adwuma o me de kan ho na mentimi na sa situation nyina ya de a hardene ebu onso asoma sikoba ya wa bre odu ya oron ho bu okra ontimi nkodware na ekom de no atena ebia away sofa mu ehwa na odi won ko dining table the sofa ni mu na wo having a dinner odi wie ya wote won mu a wo kan na gu sofa no so a abahwe na ohwam nkronkro kro enti sa niema we nyina so timi di problem se ba ye kan obi wo hon man di kunu to living obi wo hon man na yiri to living obeba fia 3 days sa niema ni nyina timi di problem se ba enti adwuma enso ka ho na manfo having less sex. And this I want to partner our honum. Number 4 say adwuma create problem. Adwuma nti mamunt me have sex said yanka say mutimi have sex na. Communication wo ho kasa wo ho. Ese mutimi find a solution to it. E kwan ben so na mo be fa, mo betimi be ma asomdwe beba. Sadia no so important. Sadia no is so necessary. Ese samo ye. Have a plan. Have a plan. Because there's someone to be satisfied in every area. And you one way, and your baby back. Satisfaction, except our baby. And you someone can some to meet us and munya plan B. Munya a quambia mobile fossil. Mode have a sex. And that's how you guys will be having less sex. There be the confusion, baby. Sure, we hear our muna bebre na nya bibia o because of we say oba ya abeto ho anu ada. Ukuna wa muna bebre no enya bibia o. Wo de adwuma na adwuma, wo de living. Enti so obete na afa ukunu no wafa ba bia eye wo ankasa. Enti eye so important say ye behwe sa niema ni nyina. Mama me ma adwuma ma mesha ye ne ye partners intem because ye ma adwuma ye e be hye ye ne ye partners intem a e betimi affect yen ade no wo pesika no na wo pede aka nyina so de aka ho because when you sika ne sadan na sa wo do ni ho no mo a asomdwe bia ni ho obi wo sika bebre enso sa eye awariye mu asomdwe no oni bi because sika entimi nto awariye mu asomdwe unya sa woni wo partner e wo sa asomdwe no so woni wo partner wo sa asomdwe na bibi biara wo ye bia eye so successful bibi biara wo ye bia ekoso yi enti eye bibia esese ye hwe ne yie mumian hwe how aye adwuma mumian plan how aye adwuma anya se ba ko na esese ote na adwuma bi so a na ne week na ya dan ya ese ba ko bitimi twam ese ba ko bitimi twam ba sa kwata sa 3 months na obiti living na waja ni kunu uba na sa wukunu achiti a na wanu dem dabi enye no nso nti enkyira sa me warranty nkrofo se o se sa na ekoso a ese okoko chiti dabi at least sa wo yire no timiji a day off amanenji a day off no mra na de ese se ekoso bia no atimi akoso mabre no ese wutwa so edu ba bia se otia se body na nya wo dia oyire no ukunu no ya wo client enti akwan bia wo befa so abe satisfy wo client na so satisfied no enti se basa ebe boa yen am yatimi akoyanim. The next one aye sika. Sometimes lack of money. Now one kasa wodim say oi bill say ba pressure wo honum enti ba bia adwene ne da no enye honum wadwena ya shia ma wo dwene because one hwe ya wo ya you homeless one hwe ya de wo kokot e basa the desire crowd to have sex no e na akodi baabi akodi akire bi baabi kura a wo ya ne hwe ya enye yi enti niema etimi am I having less sex no eno opa wo twene ye nkola yi abafie nkola yi school yi ya friend free Ghana ye nkola yi fees yo se said ye radio da Roma yesterday free education ti se said ye sa dadwene no from Ghana no ye ye free ho enti e bia wo de be ye nkola yi di sika yi na a house ye bill yi a house ye phone bill a house ye way na ne amantimi nkikansie ne yie no etimi affect mo relationship no e ma mo sex life kura etimi esesa. This is where sometimes couples na obi ayese me yamadwuma fa no sa couples me from roommate and a sex mate omo de sex nti no mo te faako sex nti no mo nyina te fie ba gu sanya sex a anko bibiara be fa no kwan se sana tie na bia ba ko adwuma sai na ba ko ntimi support ne partner no na still ya dadwene dan so a e be ye dan wetimi have a better sex with the partner because in that relationship no aye me enye yen enti se wadwuma sai ya wo na wadwuma sai me de nsai ntimi de makomanim ena bill says ye tua no me de wo mu ese me tua no me tua won so ekwan abefa so obetua wo de no so fa so na tua wo de enti sa niema wei ena sika timi ye o enti se sika problem e wo relationship na sa marriage mu a eno so timi lady e ma na affect mo sex life e ba say na nka ti say no ananka emotionally no ultimi support wo partner no enya nyansa sambi e ka kire no asamda bi e ka kire no e chichi ne re e ma no eti ase se enya den akwasi enya den adwoa mema dwuma me ye kakra no ebetimi aboa akipi yen enti wo de no ane se yen hwe se ubenya adwuma foforo sa asem kra wo ka kire no kwama na nya ni je bi wonu mu se oh anka ade anka ono ba fie na oba be ka kire wo fo se ye problem because unya anya sam ka bi e ka kire ni ntino or how ne dadwuna edna eda no so no pressure na eda no so no what is so by a percentage e be 50% enti e basa na ono so dan obeka oh sa me nya adwuma yi na sa me yire na ye adwuma yi dia na sa me kunu na ye adwuma yi dia anya physically no esa me nso me yire me ho na me nso me de boa enti eba sa na you guys will have less sex because mama communication bi etimi akoso enti that communication na course no abuild obi emotionally akadia na nka affecting emotionally no wama na feel say oh sa problem no kra nya problem enti sa me no wo mienu you better realize this idea no ni ehun say when there's a problem somewhere I see a support your partner na ebe boy bebre ti niema e ka ho ma yentimi have e might have less section e be your money. The next one, so are hidden worries. Hidden worries. Hidden worries, no, my friend say, e be a say, obi wo hono mo a. Why no who say, e be a, oshia nipa no worry na ono ankasa na wo responsibilities be. It is our responsibilities, no. Emre adwuma say, no. Anka niema na anka otimi yema abusuafo no sese bia na wontimi nye saade na nkasa hante sa nipa no enti sa nipa no assign na dwene deda odwene ho akwan a obehwe a wode be satisfy ye fiefo odwene ho akwan a wode be boa ne fiefo because bia eja dem pa wo ho na so ankonya partner bia obetimi ne bedi nkomo na be man the partner be pour out the situation betre no na obeti ase say oh because of majuma esay enti first na nka mitimi di say ko mitimi ko boa nkrofo mitimi ko yesi but say mitimi eno na aye problem edam so na bia wo yo yire wo ye ekunu watch us akwasi kwadwo adwoa enya den so would first na bia na wo the 100 na ekọ say de wa wonim me na me kọ na me ba enti ase etimi balance ne ma ne etimi atua bills na hwe nkola ne ne ma enti wo the 100 no wo betimi ateso a say 50 a menya 50 a me de be ma wo emre a wo ka sa asem ne kire no wo mfa sika ne nto ne nsam o but otimu say ejama ware oba pa ejama ware be ma pa be ma yi adwene me ho enti ade na nka ye problem a ebe na mo so be ma mo kodam a ontimi nya adwuma sade ya sese oye no sese wasesa adwene no wama ne hope bi wama ne anidaso bi wo baabi enti mo sex life no ebe ye smooth still a enti abasa na nkrofo experience less sex life mo de afekura na aso because I hope no dem ma wo no ama wo nso wate ase se eja me kunu do me eja me yire do me enti ono nso just so ye dem ma physically no ono nso ya obe make sure say so ye na ehote na wo nso unya satisfaction na free honum ti this is nema esese ye hwe those hidden worries no a problem those hidden worries no a niema bia a hard ye interfere so much. And I will say we shouldn't keep hidden worries because sometimes if you old man ka partner whatever you are going through so partner and sabi also ya bajini ba not ya say who problem any problem now onkita the attitude of me no cry the attitude of we on someone you are worried it's going to affect my relationship ono so betu na mombi na aboa mu na etimi ama bibi biara mo ye bia so etimi akoso sadia eseseko. The next thing it affected your sex life. I may have less sex no anger ebufuo because you buafu your partner ninti why be binti you feel say want me satisfy emotionally nti ye de abufuo nenam enti oba ne bokwa kwhye ne jeans no no the skirt aside to so anger. Dear anger etimi Bema no so be decide ono so bufuo nti mekwa me mantem. No no so nenam enamfofo so anasa woti baabi. Ne buafu ne yire. Dear anger etimi no. If it's your son, you want to say, oh, yeah. Obi cheaty because of Sanya Maya Mabubo Swinty. Anger be a wonya yenti. Ne partner a cheaty, I want so. Because sa obetra bontin, I want me mefia, and as obebe fiena a jabba damudia, and your betra bontin. No, I and who ye. Obebano. Who ho, so winnie ho, and fan of home. Into some of the near money binono. Some of the near man, any problems at Brian, a binono, anger, ebufuo, and me ma one men that ebufonti, emraswa, ebia bema channel, ewa demono. And yes, I did no, so I didn't obey shampoo, bathroom onyina. Owi a wasaba be gina me romu afi na wo boniti just bibi obeye de be frustrate you so ya be man so a o anya sa time no kra no benya ne call sa time no na wo tie ne news bi dia anger etimi ye na nkrofo tifie na omo nkasa na abufuo nko a enti niema am I have less sex no ebinu no abufuo ene mesre se obi biara se wo betimi a se wo ne wo partner enya entokwa mema ade enche so ade cheso afa ne se wa open new page. Had you see and you when he said your wound, you see ya, partner na washa and kasa. No shasena ni dinkomo. Because what trends are well open new page. I did change and who could dance before no son was sorry into one sorry a new day, a new life, a new attitude now the ura denim. Onfa and ra angano and mamishim. Now will beat me in a partner. Ebufonti omutime kwa no munyina tifio no mother ni roommates obi ankasa ne nyonko hu obi pe bibia no atro note no de ato no ne partner also respond no also the note no also they are responded small samo chance mo honom na mo ma anger eya kasia wo relationship mo a you become roommates because or your roommate, when you share any better relationship, that intimacy, no, any honor. But are so important? Say, yeah, my partners, you're near partners, and my roommates. Near better as married couples, near better as people in relationship, people in healthy relationship. Anger is so important. Anger is so important. Na niema kakra ya mabobo so yi nyina yi emra ekoso na in a relationship no na build a binum mindset build a binum adwene okay the more na build adwene no na some build the habit enti obi wo ho no mo a we develop the habit ne se ho sex drama have ya sanya hwe. And I'm be busy to be a man develop that habit now. And people can develop that habit of having less sex. And people developing that habit, can be so many niema. Obi one my the pain. The experience bia wo onya ye mra wo so no. The experience bia onya ye with the previous in the previous relationship. And your man develop that mind, What tuning in mind is a sex and important to honor. You will be on my son or tear. What developing the mindset on sex and so important. So there will be a woman or not your own who was section. And it's a sad level and as a sad stage in our doing so. It's a big problem. It's a sad ye. Never develop that habit, because who develop that habit? And just ask yourself, is that habit helping my partner? Nana? Because anger, any money, kids, work, and it's money, I bet you will develop that habit, you know. And see, you're wrong. You're wrong. As I see a share sadi and a year. Habit. Aye, BB, as I see, develop that habit, you know. Nebasana, who develop that habit of not having sex? It's so difficult, say, ube change it from that way, say, no. And the medical can go on all the experience being in a man develop that habit, no. And your sex, your BB, and I say, just a M1. Or go on when the experience with sex, no, a idea or prior, and I say, a yenny BB be a true rape. And whenever or have sex, that is the first thing that comes on the mind. And it's affecting the person. Swat you here. Into your BBA, as I say, a shiny year, see and develop that habit, no. So we'll pattern no cry develop that habit now. As I also find a better way of addressing that habit, no. Say any previous experience be and now so amanabasa. True, you knowing the hidden worries, no. So what catch that I want to sabio, or ya badjuneba. Now, once an hidden way na issue na waka chirawono. And ya friend a winning in your problem. Quite Jimmy for, I do a Jimmy for. I find a walk up with Jenny Pemunua canny JJ. As soon as you see a mra wa yakolani European, as soon as you say a mra what you say ye say. We having the eye to identify that bad way, saying mummy and yin tune chain. When it comes to our relationship, you found tune chain, and Nina you do one yama bonena and answer the 10 bian, so BBC and the Sassia Guya, you didn't want to mass, Sassia Guya couldn't mass. Sa attitude, Muma Yenjai, sa mindset, Muma Yenjai, Nasia Jaya. I bet boy baby. Mummy Yenjai, sa mindset, na ebe boying. Tisani yama yina ya niema esesa ya sheni ye. The next one can be health. Nipanim pomuden. Ebiana yaria bi our partner no wonti. Onti me and have sex that often said ya ebia first no or have it. And sometimes you being a human being, a do baby as someone gets out here, Sienna me yare, me kunu yare. And be a said your first rank near my sikon, say won't to me and yanessa, as I would tell say. And to near money be a bet me lady to having less sex, and I don't know. Yari be bet me at you be. Maybe I want me have a sex view. Yari bet me at you be, none in pom. Why am re? Sanya money na bet me affect it. More sex life. And you remember having less sex. But as I will appreciate it the little time now. Who bet me be having with that partner no. Ebia wo mianani or pain beam. But or allow woman have sex no. And answer because of person satisfy won't or my without chance na after that appreciate your partner. Shira bibi, ye bibi, my partner ni who say wani. I saw the away, even though we are in poor. Obit me yusu ne partner health issue unti osmajaya warrior. Just ask yourself, say, I won't now cause our situation no jawa. How will you feel? And I make most people know your attitude me. It's not we. Because be a health issues now so when you married now no partner no I'm find it out how best I'm going to move on with my sex life and come with me improve my sex life. But that attitude now, when me attitude ninti, me interest ninti, dia me benefit ninti no. When young men no partner no ending komo. No one finding out other means that we bet me satisfy or partner no. Now for the confusion, bebre na dia ba. Enti aya niama bia. Me no wo mienu esesa ye hwe ne yie. Si ebe hwe ne yie ni aya ebe boa ye bebre. Sabre minencha kasia bema ayam yamini about Beatrice Smith. Also, the infidelity, power struggle can also affect sex life. Low self-esteem can also affect sex life. Laziness, low drive, pornography, addiction, medication, side effects can also affect sex life. Power struggle. I mean, more so kakra or power struggle. Because I met me akasaka kra ewo one. Omo sometimes some person be dominant, some dominate you. Me na me say no. Such people no sometimes me Emma relationships and answer sex life no it me any man affected sex life. Me na me ya sumasi. Me na me can ya fine now. Me na me ya ti say da attitude no nyina ya niam bi adu ba bi a esese ye hwe ne yie because ye hwe ne yie a ebeboa ye bebre. Into power struggle. Me na me teso. Me na me tise. Me na me woska. Me na me wose. Sa ni man nyina timi affect relationship. No crack. Infidelity. Or say infidelity and so affect sex life. I wish say nemani bi honoma. Sometimes nemani bi honoma will be trap. Uni madwene or di gina eche trust identity. So timi nya sa nipa no e ma nipa no e be trust ya edu ba bia ya na eboa bebre because how I be a wo hwade na nya sa na ono so e hwade no low self esteem. I think sir and also a bibi a betimi akasa kakra de afa ho obi wo ha won gine hu ni on gine hu endi sa niema no nyina etimi affect relationship obi wo because of low self esteem nti or run ho kra won a partner ni mu an ofere. And that is also an area. I know Sana as a one so wooden panel, the other partner, so him said that is what is affecting our partner now. As our partner no feel say or sombo. That is why you move be no in some ya free and move bananian some panel. Anyway, I can see. And as I said, they were fire casio. And as I said, what he say, and I say what he say. Now in some phone, ne a piaka see. Any yaki catch your partners no. Sanya money na affect your partners no momunya low self-esteem. And yano kasai see a shiny ye. Yanu mukasa bet me at the problem my brain. Yanu mukasa and you bet me ama your relationships. We can't have enough sex. And it is so important and it is so true. So we will be that's our partner. Our that low self-esteem, and that's a one who what to me who. And so our partner and build it the self-esteem. My partner and feel say, hey, or ye nipa si nipa bia. Ni su nipa da. Man feel it that comfortable no. So man feel it that comfortable not to be building the self-esteem now. One kasa you enjoy will be bia. It is so important. You know about because the infidelity, when partners have an affair outside of their relationship, it prevents them from enjoying each other. Yes. It has to be some kind. Sebia men America can get your kind and maybe can you so what you say. Because a man for omu kunu no machi omu yire no machi nti. Oba fear na ne partner ho ye ne time, ne partner ho ye ne nyan. O Felisa o di obenya won ne partner ho no. Onya ne wo baby. And because onya ne wo baby no, you so satisfied over there. Into oba fear no oba sabio oba be Jimmy ne yire so, oba be Jimmy ne kunu so. Saa nneɛma no nyinaa ka ho ɛne yɛntumi nya enough sex. Enti sɛ wofo sɛ wo sex life ɛsesa ɛmmerɛ mo hyia na ɛnyɛ saa na teɛ. What do? Sit your partner down, have a discussion with your partner. Bisa questions. Ɔno nso wɔ questions ɔno nso bɛbisa. The more na mo communicate no na ɛɛboa ama mo relationship no etimi aye successful. Enti aye no kra saa nneɛma we nyina affect relationship. Yɛne aba no saa ka sɛ wɔ sedan pornography addiction. Okay. Obi wɔ hɔ no mo a sɛ ɔhwɛ obi ne obi da no satisfy no more than sɛ ɔno ankasa being in the act. And that can also be the problem. And this how the papa show obino, fashion wankasa wire, fashion wankasa wukunu. That is where Reverend will say, be a prostitute in your bedroom. So a prostitute were outside in your bar, be a prostitute in your bedroom. And a man knows mamma me and young crass for. Now Obano. Yeah, baby, or the be please you, or the be entice you. One could jab baby and cast 8. Nasani, my way, no winning no way. That is why you move, we are not getting satisfied now. Because in some full free and no had towards your union, ideas to say a year no yamaya, Ebema any bedroom. They won't do it anymore because one on a way carry amount. And the sex no ya be. Tisabio, Massasa, Yabesian Yansa Kakra, near Benyansa Sam Kakakra, in some of the free and Mubabano, Yankan ye. Adia wani John. Now, Patron, idea Babuawa. Oh, he can't send me. Yanshani ye. Samino me and no. Bewu how I ever handle your partners are. Your relationship is successful. Anyan Sanfun. Sans funa de be a day no kikano, Mumayan jam to baby. You concentrate on your relationship. You find say your partners, your clients. We have to satisfy them. And when we are able to satisfy them, we will have the best relationships. And on any ma you bet me by ye a bebuayen. At your for a neck a hana me de ye casano ebesi. I know, sir, and a discussion is so good. Yes, I will say, sir, I will pick up another topic on intimacy, another area of intimacy. Now, yakasa edi afahu. How I be able to improve your intimacy life? No, so at your say, ni yakasa edi afahu because yetimi kasafa ehu year. Sawa rijaya funa esisi no problems funa esisi no NCBO. Your relationships and your marriage is very successful. Like so, send you successful. So, while I need dear me bedi, when the Asaka Sebama Omo Beshe, Mabua for a KTM mobile, Madus Designs and Sitosh African Center, Meda Omunya Ase. Mama contributing na me amini aba Beatrice Smith, Albert Nunu, Almighty Samdan, Kevin Asamoaba, any more muka winina via the sap near moment me amubomudina, Mesra say, Medamunina say. Ebia make us and me use so word be man you sin ye. Mesra Samu Fancha me man shada manina ho. Men shada, and yes, manina one as manumbi bio me nom she, many kind. But if you one man realizes that a be a small mechanic offensive. And I do baby I am so emotional. Maybe I'm a cancer sabio, something at the right time, the time will come and bones and animal will be fading out. But try some changing my style of talking. Because education, we try to educate ourselves. So the Yenuaba Dibiaba, Yenuaba has been a very good communicator power with us, very supportive with us. Every blessed day, she's here with us or supporting. And I think, sir, with that in mind, Yenuaba Beatrice Smith, you've been very supportive all the time. And Yapasa, say a relationship at the end of the year. Yapasa was husband. And so, Enya or Dostron could be the mount. It is our mother's design for some country, I will say. Almost bow tie at the mouth for our husband. Sadia, our husband, Sube, who said, yeah, appreciate it because I know, sir, our husband, so a do baby or no so shabby, and access is a break on in the shit. Now, a tree, I bruise, ya, oh, explaining, okay, can you match reality? At least, yeah, appreciated ya once so yeah, at the support to a committee. You have a bow tie with us, anytime baby be shall be you will make sure say yeah they will both tie be mom ya wo for say ukunu sha obey a brantier yeah the ebe mount yeah that's be brave next week echo Madus Designs am I 5 bow ties yeah betche now every day you better how I be person can be a mistake because I see it to be finding a way you bet me betche those 5 bow ties Madus Design this month or my 5 bow ties 5 bow ties are or they check for free ninyina ka ho na madwumadie no ekoso so atiase said ya a man na wo no o metimi dia ma mu kunu no na emema no so wo mu ankasa mo so mo abo na je say mo hire no mo hu say yes mo ya mrantie said ya ena anwumre ma ya brantie me tie bo me kon anya de ketwa o ene me square hye ho no anya de ketwa nti sa brede ye nua Beatrice onsa beka eye ubo tie so na next week ko ye beche 5 bow ties nti ya na mase bebre erade nhira obi biara wonya amre eba beka yan so munyina mu nima na ye fiada menso ene mitimi kotena ba bi ne me yire kotena ba bi I think say ebeboa menso esa me bo me de ho ban because man bo me de ho ban menso ye be mu na de ahya me smart ase enti we de mesra mahwefo ne atiefo nyina mesra se momfa enchayen ene aha na erade aye adom ede ya ba be si minim se de yesu nyina ebe boayen gena masse bebre sabren so na ye kira mo se ye dwumade fufura ye de eba ebetima ye obi we can interview obi biara ye se den 10 minutes chat with you 10 minutes chat with you. Expecting more and much from that segment, and also enche everybody. There's like I said, I am Madus Designs that are romantic and Abrenia Bribia, de Sergmadi Ebramu se Bikomu, my po, my Dania Brantia, not just Madus Designs that are Roma, almost like custom, bold, and classy. Bibi biara mebo bia mo ankasa motimu se it stands out unique so atiase unya bi wo ba bia Madus Designs nkwa sanso na ketie mo ba mo yenkofa omo commercial na ya ba na ye de djumadi no e ba wie ya ne sa
I wanna share with you and you can share with me. Come let's share together. KTA Mobile, KTA Mobile, technology worth sharing.
It's the future.
Yo, Sabrina na mwa muni abema imposona na ame aweke eni klote ke St. John eke comment na we na minimum edin kranesa and ejumade ne de aba awie erade enhira obi biara.